And if you like large tactical folding knives, you're going to love this video. And by the way, as you guys know, that's one of my all-time favorite styles of knives. Large folding tactical blades. I've said it in how many reviews? Well, do you always carry one, Nothing Fancy? Honest answer, no. In fact, I would say less than 20% of the time am I carrying what could be considered a large tactical folding knife. No, I don't always carry one because, honestly, I don't always need one. To me, it's a defensive blade. It's not an EDC blade. It's a knife you fight with. It's a knife that you'd hurt someone with when they're trying to hurt you and you don't have another option. You can't run away. That's a large tactical folding knife, for honest. That's what it is. I don't always need that. I don't always carry it. In fact, it's very rare I do. Doesn't mean I don't love them. Doesn't mean I'm not addicted to them. Hey, I love the Ferrari 458 Italia. I don't have one of those. I'll never have one of those, but I love it. And honestly, if I had it, I don't even know if I'd drive it that much. Just go look at the miles on a 458 Italia. How many miles those guys rack up on their cars? 5 years old, 3,000 miles. That's normal. Doesn't mean the guy doesn't love his car. He's just, I don't know, collecting it, gives him joy, second kind of cool. It's special, makes him smile when he goes to sleep at night. Hey, I got a 458 parked in the garage. It's awesome. Yeah, but dude, you don't drive it. So, another answer is I'm always testing blades. I don't have pocket space, dude. I don't have pocket space all the time. Now well, I guess I better get on with this Caribbean. 5 minutes into it, exposition. It's fun though. Sal Monero is a custom knife maker. No, I do not know him. But I know a little bit about his work. Just a smidgen. He has a knife called the Stingray. Here's a picture. Dang, is that a cool looking knife. Really, I mean, it is gorgeous. Functionally gorgeous, aesthetically gorgeous. The Stingray. Oh, by the way, it's $1,400 to $1,600 if you can find one. I always laugh when I'll post a video on a knife that's, let's just say $200. Guys roll in, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. I'm like, dude, you don't even know what a lot of guys spend on knives. $200 is a joke to a lot of these guys. I mean, you have people with a lot of money out there. They will go out and spend $1,600 on a tactical folding knife. Why? Well, it's probably the same guy that owns his Italia 458, dude. He's got money. Good for him. He's got money. Awesome. He's spending on stuff that turns him on. He's a collector. Maybe he's, turning and burning these blades. He keeps them for a few years. They increase in value. He sells them. He makes a small amount of profit on it. Maybe a large amount. Meanwhile, he's having a blast. Loves it. There's your answer. That is reality of what you can own. That is the Boker Plus Stingray custom collaboration. It is the interpretation by Boker Plus, overseas produced, Sal Monero designed, and it is awesome. Notice how I came close to the mic so I could really emphasize that point. It's awesome. Wow, Nuttin, I haven't seen you this excited for a blade in a long time. Well, welcome to the knife show, dude. If it sucks, I'm going to tell you. If it's awesome, I'm going to tell you this knife is awesome. Totally awesome. Now, I've done several, shall we say, custom collaboration KRVs here in TMP. I know a lot of acronyms. You guys can keep up. I know that. Some get it right, some don't. Some I'm really digging, some not so much. It's always reflected in my likability scale. This, from what I know now, subject to change, through hard use, through wear and tear, is going to rank very highly on my likability scale. Would I ever go out and spend, let's just say $1,600 on the actual knife that this one mimics? No way. Not me. That's not my value system. I have other things I need to spend my money on. I don't fault guys that do, though. I don't say, oh, you're stupid for doing that. Remember that whole second kind of cool thing, guys. Right? that if you start criticizing guys on their choices of second kind of cool, then you yourself are going to get criticized, and you'll deserve it. It's best just keep our mouth shut when guys do that. You don't agree with it. You think it's dumb silently. That's okay. Just don't tell the guy. Well, okay, if he's your friend, tell him. I was like, dude, you could bought a scope and an AR-15 with that money. Yeah, I'd probably say that. No, but especially when this knife is $125, give or take some. And it's almost a spitting image of the custom. Almost. Look at the beautiful lines of the Boker Plus Stingray. POU. Tactical blade. That's a term I kind of felt like when I started TMP, people were really shying away from. And I've talked about this before. I'm going to go quick. They don't like talking about it. Well, it's tactical blade. What's tactical blade? Well, it's a knife, like I said at the outset, and you'll defend your life with. Now everybody's using it. Now it's pretty much carrying the whole knife industry. I'm talking tactical blades. That's what sells. Guys like it. They spend money on them. They're sexy. They're cool. They have the military association. We get all that. But if you get down to brass tacks, is this a knife that you could defend your life with? Would you integrate it into whatever system you want to discuss doing that? Answer, absolutely yes. From what I know now. And I could be wrong. The custom Stingray, I think, was designed for that. Initially. I mean, let's be honest. $1,600? I don't know if there's going to be like a contractor in Afghanistan carrying that knife around. Why? Dude, if it gets lost, you just lost $1,600. If it gets stolen, $1,600. You're better off doing this. Getting this one. Go put the wear and tear on this one. Then if you want to go fondle it and go to sleep with a smile on your face, do that. Tactical blade, absolutely. It's all going to also, and I already just said this, but the official name, it's a proxy blade. Proxy for that custom that you'll never have. See, there we are at 10.5 minutes. The discussion flowing on the Boker Stingray. What a freaking cool knife. Gift item, absolutely. EDC, no way, dude. EDC knife. What do you have on your pocket today? And this is never set up. It is just what it is. I got this. That's an EDC blade. Ontario Rat 2, smaller version. What a great knife. Cheap, effective. It steel's okay. I just showed this in another review. I'll show it again. I don't know if it's sexy, it's useful, but EDC knife for me has got to be somewhat small. That's POU, as I see it. I got to go because I'm going to show you competitive options, which are going to be fun. And that always adds some time. Weight is 5.8 ounces, but dang, son, that's a big blade. 4.1 inch 440C. The custom is actually in CPM 154, which is a powdered steel and very expensive. I don't know if it's $1,600 expensive. There's some production knives using CPM 154. I haven't looked lately, but I'll say around the $200 point, maybe $250. Great steel. Am I a huge fan? Let's talk about steel real quick. Am I a huge fan of Boker Plus 440C? Not really. In past cutting tests, not so much with this one. Like the Boker Plus Titan. Remember when I reviewed that one? I did a lot of cutting with that, and it seemed like it was really hard to get at a good edge. I hope this steel is better. It is made where it's made. I don't know if it's stamped here. It's overseas, China, Taiwan, wherever. And that's what they're using. I would love to see it in, this won't ever happen, S30V. It won't happen. And if it did, the price would go way up, probably around the $200 point. 440C, no, not my favorite steel. I won't lie to you. Good enough? Define your POU. What are you going to be using it for? Collecting? Absolutely. Impressing your friends? Absolutely. Carrying your pocket, never using it? Yeah, absolutely. Tactical use? Yeah. Totally. What? Yeah, dude. I mean, they're making shivs out of plexiglass in prison. They get the job done. You don't think 440C would? Really, the only time you need to worry about the steel is when you're doing extended cutting in difficult media. Cardboard, carpet, heavy plastic, hemp rope. That's when you need to worry about edge retention. That's more of a utility thing, really not a tactical thing. I mean, how much night fighting you going to do? Being honest. Blade shape is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, do I love the blade shape here. And let's see if I have something to throw against it. Oh yeah, the box it came in is right here, yo. Just look at it. I mean, it's just beautiful. This one's polished finish. I don't know if they've varied it or will vary it in the future. Edge out of box, by the way. Pretty excellent. Excellent. Really, that needs no work. And that, by the way, that's why I did not. This is like our knife. We bought it. We're going to keep it. We love it. And I was like, I got to do a cutting test with it. And I started feeling that edge. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. The reason being, it's just another project. You know? Another knife sharpening. I got plenty of that going on. No, I already tested it. The Boker Plus line anyhow. What a great, beautiful blade shape. It has an ambidextrous thumb disc, as you can see. Easy enough to deploy. I'm kind of jumping ahead because you can take that off. Notice there's a little tiny bit there. I think it's a Torx bit. Pull that off, then you got these flats for a consistent angle sharpener. I think that's huge. That, for me, with my limited skill level, allows me to put a really nice edge on it. Kind of like the knife I just showed you. That's what I did with this one. Polished to about, I don't know, 2,000 on that one. Insane. Love the blade shape, and it has reach. You're talking about a tactical philosophy of use. This is a knife for a folder, for its weight class. You can reach out and touch someone. How about speed? Well, showed you the thumb disc. I would say speed is outstanding. Outstanding. Let's throw out the light. It's going to be, in case you're wondering, a heavily worn Streamlight ProTac 2 AAA. No surprise. Find out what works. I have a hard time deviating from it. What? You're a reviewer, dude. You should always be trying different stuff. I know. I'm trying to look in there because I didn't look previously if it has phosphor bronze or Teflon bushings. I can't really tell. It's not IKBS or ball bearings. I know that. Showstopper? No. I love a ball bearing deployment system. Love it, love it, love it. But you integrate that, and then you have to pay a licensing fee for guys who have developed it. It's going to add cost. May or may not add additional speed. I'm really happy with the speed on this Boker Plus Stingray. Check it. Lockup, by the way. Now I jumped around and see if guys were digging this knife, not digging it. I rarely do that. I did it this time. Found a criticism on lockup of this knife. I have to say I don't see that at all. I mean, if you look at the timing on this knife, the Boker Plus Stingray, it's perfection. Titanium frame lock. You can see right there. I don't have my other light. This will work. Really tight lockup. It's perfect. The question I have, and I've leveled this criticism at other knives of this ilk, is will it stay that way under heavy use? My favorite titanium frame locks are ones that integrate a steel insert that's replaceable. A hardened steel insert. You know what I'm talking about. This one doesn't. It is a pure titanium handle set. I would suspect it's grade 5 titanium 6AL-4V. Ooh, that's technical, nothing. Yeah, it is the workhorse of the industry. That's because it's not pure titanium. It has 6% aluminum, hence the term 6AL, and it has 4% vanadium, hence 4V. I'm not positive, but I think that's what this is. And I think a lot of handles use that because it's millable, it's heat treatable. As you can tell, it can take a spring tension like that. Downside is you might get some wear from it. I've said in other reviews, I don't think titanium frame locks are all that under heavy usage. Some people do, I don't. From my own experience. And if you're going to hate, hate on this one, well, it doesn't have a steel inset, then you might want to hate on this one too, right? The ZT-0560 series, because that doesn't have it either. Probably the same material. I've had no problems with this. It's been great. Have I hard used it? Not really. Too many knives in the rotation. I bring it out because it just shows that even though it doesn't have a steel inset, it could still be durable. I'm pretty happy with the lockup, happy with the strength, the ambidextrous deployment disc. I'm happy with. Now this will stick a little bit, and you notice when I pop this out, it does not have a hyperextension disc on it, so it prevents you from over bending that lock bar. I've always done this. I just put my thumb there. Might stick a little bit. This one's actually not too bad. How about that titanium handle, how it's executed? I would say it's pretty awesome, because getting back to the tactical philosophy of use, provides traction. Good traction. The only thing I wish they would have done is right here, they should have put some very dense texturing. Of all the places you need it right here. Why? Because this is where my thumb is. When I'm holding it like that, you know, if I go into reverse grip, not a factor. But right here, yeah, factor. And it's a little bit slicker right there. Showstopper? No. I wish they would have done that. Let me get it close so you can see it. See how it's just kind of horizontally lined here? Just a small thing. I wish they would have done it under the clip. And you can see there's a pad under here that there is some thought, and I told you this when we did the Blade HQ visit. They have some thought as to not abrading your fabric in your pocket, but they should have extended it out to about like that, because as you put it in, it could still shred your pocket. What I was going to say is I'm going to take the clip off and either sand it or do something to just smooth this area out. Will it change the looks on the blade? Yeah. What I need to determine, is this going to be a first kind of cool or second kind of cool knife? If it's first kind of cool, then I say make whatever mods you need, make it more useful. I always love simple, clean, elegant designs. That's what the Stingray is. That's what the Monero design is at its essence. It's simple, it's clean, it doesn't have extraneous crap on it. Flow through design, mud, blood, guts flow right through it. Heck, it doesn't even have any standoffs there. It just has a backspacer on the back, a titanium backspacer. That's it. And I think for the size of blade it is, it's light. Not super light. It's not a featherweight, but 5.8 ounces, 5.6, whatever my scale says. It's in the ballpark for that size of blade. Nice deep choil right here with excellent jimping. You knew that was coming. Hey, nothing. Does every knife have to have jimping with you? Nope. Depends on the design. But a large tactical folding knife, yes, it should have jimping. I'm going to show you one that doesn't, and I gave it a lower likability scale. Just my data point. You ask, I'll tell you. That's the answer. Clip design. It does have the ambidextrous thumb disc. Awesome. Love it. Doesn't have a switchable, pocket clip. For lefties, and I'm talking to lefties now. And also the lock bar's on this side, the left side. So is it a really good lefty knife? Probably not. The good news, I've reviewed about a bazillion that are. Again, jump in the playlist, you'll see it. By the way, there's no lanyard hole there, if that's important to you. With me, I don't care. I think it rides in the pocket just about right. This portion will be sticking out. And thankfully, they've oriented it, tip up. Styling. So for me, right-hander, tip-up guy, pocket clip's excellent. Flares out a little bit too much for me, but it will ride over thicker pants pockets. Doesn't carry like ultra deep, like I said, but still pretty good. Durability of this knife. Well, like I said, I have not hard used it, so it might have some surprises. And I will tell you, I've had a couple problems with Boker knives before, and I've sent them back. And they were fixed. If someone got a lemon on this knife, I say, give Boker a shot. If you're going to act like no other company has lemon issues, you need to watch my videos, because every company, and I mean every, Kershaw, Benchmade, Cold Steel, Ontario, SOG, things slip through. Sorry, not my company. I'll bring it to the table, I'll talk about it, but I don't know if I'll condemn the knife, unless it's systemic. Through sample after sample. This sample is freaking perfect. Let's look at blade centering speaking of perfect, and this is something very hard to get right with a large tactical folder, if you ask me. How about blade retention? So glad I remember that. Perfect. Great detent. It's just right. Beautiful knife. Love the sound when it deploys too. Durability, I suspect, will be excellent for realistic use. Value, at $125, off the charts. You make this knife in the United States of America with a different steel, maybe 154 or CPM 154, $250, $225. That's my guess. Competitive options. How about the beloved NTMP and pretty much everywhere, I hope, the Spyderco Police G10. 24 minutes in, feature length. Here come the competitive options. 5 ounces VG10, about the same price. I think when I scored this, 110 bucks. Thinner. Look at that. Thinner. You gotta love the Spotties for their thinness. Oh my gosh, are they thin. Easy to carry. I don't find this obnoxiously thick at all. It actually carries very well. That's another reason I like it. It's really thin. This is ultra thin. Let's compare the blade lengths. Spyderco Police G10 versus Boker plus Stingray. About the same. What I find really interesting is the handle ratio. So you can see the Boker Plus seems like it's more efficient, right? And yet you close the Police G10 and then you can see it's almost a 1-to-1, it looks like. No traction topside, so I added that little run of skateboard tape up there. Got excellent jimping up here. I just love this knife. It's a Hall of Famer. Has been, should be, forever. Next competitive option, and I've never shown this knife. CRKT Mirage. 4.6 ounces. A very unimpressive AUS 6 steel. It was $16 when I bought it. $16? Yeah. And it's no longer being made, so sorry. But it's pretty interesting. And it's pretty functional too. I actually use a smaller one of these as a desk knife. I have had it in there for about 10 years. Still using it. Love it. Just showing it. It's kind of fun. CRKT Mirage. Here comes another CRKT, and I kind of referenced this a little bit when I was talking about jimping. This is a CRKT Foresight at a very chunky 6.6 ounces. AUS 8 steel, around $65. It's a cool blade. Now this has IKBS, it has a bearing system. It's really smooth. I reviewed this knife. It's awesome. It's a flipper design. Just beautiful. Kin onion, of course. Organic lines, finger grooves. Really cool clip. It does carry tip down and it has no jimping on it, and it's heavy. Let's compare it up against the Stingray. This is fun, by the way. Just really a completely different knife. Kind of a different school of thought. Chunky tactical blade, elegant tactical blade. Both have merit. Totally do. Already showed you the 0561, right? I guess I'll throw that on the table. How about this one? The Gerber Applegate Fairbairn Combat. 6.6 ounces. I don't think I've shown this knife on camera since 2010. Maybe earlier, 09. It is 425M Gerber steel, which is, okay. 6.6 ounces again. I bought this at AFES in England for $82. And I sharpened it. Wicked sharp. Now I bring this to the table because we're talking tactical use. We're talking reach. We're talking a folding knife that when you deploy it gives you confidence. This knife will give you confidence. It's a big blade. It's a thick blade. It also represents what I feel is a different school of thought. It's actually a folding dagger versus the Boker Stingray, the Monero Stingray. Interesting though, don't you think? This is a cool blade, dude. Wish it carried tip up. Can't get everything. It's just the way it rolls. Last but not least, I showed this in a recent review, but I still love it. The C54 Spyderco Calypso. Oh, love that knife. It's basically an Endura G10 with a different blade shape. Kind of a cross between an Endura and a Police is how I think of the Calypso. 4.4 ounces VG10 steel, around $145. So a little bit more expensive than the Stingray. Let's compare them side by side just because this is feature length, and we can do that in a feature length video. Very similar. Stingray has more length. Width, going to be about the same that we saw in the Police. Standard lock back, not a frame lock, and this one came with no jimping, so I did it myself. Top and bottom, and it made me happy. This is a sweet blade, dudes. I don't care what anyone else says. It is a sweet blade. It is one of the best blades I've seen come out as of yet in the Boker Plus lineup. The Stingray. Now, will you get one that's a lemon? I don't know, but my inkling is probably not. Yeah, the only downside, and I said this, is maybe the 440C steel. I can deal with it in this philosophy of use, collectible, tactical philosophy of use. 4.1 inch reach, deploys quick, locks up quick. It's a titanium frame lock for $125. A big titanium frame lock for $125. I'm not going to say you can't get that quality and that size of knife elsewhere, but it's always going to be produced overseas, and it may or may not have a name brand on it. I love the knife. That's a Nut and Fancy review. Hope you like it.